Pongan el papel acá.
Is page what, 10?
10.
Sí, lo intenté dar extension.
Israel Gutierrez.
Yes.
Mr. Gutierrez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On October
El
15,
15 de octubre del
2024,
2024,
officers observed
y
defendant's
oficiales
motor
observaron el
vehicle
vehículo
exit a
del
parking lot
acusado salir segundo
and drive
estacionamiento
into the main
y
roadway very
comenzar a
suddenly
manejar
with
a
rapid
la calle principal con
acceleration.
una aceleración rápida.
Officers saw that the
Y
vehicle
repentina
had a
los
defective
observaron de que
license plate
tenía
light
luz
and
de
expired
la placa
registration. After officers
defectiva
stopped the vehicle and made contact
estaba
with
vencida.
the defendant,
Detuvieron y
officers
contactaron al
observed the
acusado. Los
defendant to be
oficiales
wearing no
observaron de que
shirt,
no tenía
had
camisa puesta,
unbuttoned pants on, a
tenía
strong odor of
desabotonado los
alcohol in his
pantalones,
breath,
tenía olor fuerte
and
de
glassy
alcohol en el
eyes.
aliento.
Defendant was
Los
leaning
vidrios,
on his
el
car
acusado
for
estaba
support when asked to
utilizando el
step
vehículo
out.
para
Defendant
apoyarse
admitted
al
to
salir.
drinking. SFSTs were
Admitió haber
conducted.
tomado, le hicieron las preguntas sobre el campo estándar.
6 out of 6
6 de 6 en
HGN,
vista horizontal en la mirada,
4 out of 8
4
walk
de
and
8 de caminar
turn,
y girar,
and 2 out of 4 one leg
y 12
stand.
4 de pararse en la pierna.
DICs were read, but
Advertencias
breath
se
was
fueron leídas,
refused, and a blood warrant was signed and executed.
hicieron una orden de cateo para tomar
Any
una muestra de sangre.
No, Judge.
Tiene antecedentes, ¿no?
Mr. Gutierrez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward to the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license? Are you a United States citizen? Are you in this country with or without permission? You're a citizen?
Yes.
Do you have liability insurance in your name? Okay, as long as you have both, you can continue to drive. I am ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or drugs, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? Can you run his license for me, please? We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you go to Victoria real quick, sign a reset. You'll get with pre-trial for your bond conditions. And after that, you'll be free to go. When you come back, please have a lawyer. And I'm going to tell you this now, that don't take your time waiting for a lawyer because you're only hurting yourself. There's a lot of timing requirements with the DWI, and it could really hurt you if you just sit there and wait. Okay?
That's okay.
Please. Okay. Great. Thank you. Okay, Robert.
Sí, señor, no, señor.
Are you Coach Tambris Franklin Abraham?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Charged with driving while intoxicated, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 2 days that you have served. You need to understand, after today, this DWI will go on your record. If you were ever pulled over, an officer will see a prior DWI. If you smell like alcohol or dope, they're going to arrest you, put you in jail. What we're doing today, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. So if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail for that kind of time, I can all but guarantee an immigration detainment. So if I were you, I would never get in a car, even if you've had a sip of alcohol. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen or a possible immigration consequence, you can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you cannot change this. It will go on your record and you can never take it off. Is this what you want to do?
Yes.
Is it true or untrue that you had a 0.15 or above?
Yes.
Okay, so true to the enhancement. All right, sir. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty, send you to 3 days in jail. I will give you credit for the 2 days that you've done. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days. Do not drive. Your license is now suspended. Do you understand? If you drive, you're going to be right back over here, and it's not going to go well for you. All right,
Judge,
good luck.
he makes between $500 and $600 a week, supports his elderly mother. He doesn't have much money. Can you waive the state traffic fine, Judge, on that? He doesn't have any savings, no bonds, no stocks.
I want you to understand something, Mr. Coach Tambris, that your lawyer is asking me to waive the fines and fees for you.
multas y cargos.
Do that as a courtesy. Now, I'm now taking away around
Estoy quitando
$500 to
de
about
$3,500
$4,000 in
a
fines and fees.
$4,000 en multas y
It
cargos.
will not happen again.
No
You
sucederá
come
otra
back here with
vez.
DWI,
Regreso aquí con un caso
it's
de
going to be
una
at least
multa,
$6,000 to $7,000 that you will be responsible for. So
que sería responsable.
out there,
Piense mientras está
back here with another DWI,
regrese aquí con otra persona,
it's really going to go sideways for you.
le va a ir mal.
Do you understand?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's okay. Okay, what's the name?
Freddie Ruiz, Judge?
Freddie Ruiz.
Freddy Ruiz? Yes.
Mr. Ruiz, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On October 15th,
15 de
2024,
octubre de
officers observed two motor vehicles traveling at a high rate of speed on the 3100 block of Blalock Road in Harris County, Texas. Officers observed both motor vehicles line up at a red light and both motor vehicles traveling at a high rate of speed side by side. Officers caught up with motor vehicles and initiated traffic stop. Officer made contact with the defendant. Defendant stated he was going home from work. The other driver swerved into his lane like he was attempting to strike the defendant's vehicle.
What?
And then the defendant decided to do the same thing to the other vehicle.
So they're like demolition derby?
I know what it sounds like, Judge. And they both started traveling at a high rate of speed after that.
What does a high rate of speed mean?
¿Qué significa velocidad excesiva?
I mean, I'm gonna check the offense report and see if we have the exact speed.
And he makes an admission that they're racing?
Ellos admitieron de que estaban haciendo carreras.
He makes the admission that he was doing the same thing to the other vehicle that the other vehicle did to him, where the other vehicle was attempting to hit him.
And do we have a co-defendant as well?
Tenemos el otro acusado también.
I don't see one listed.
No veo un
Judge.
listado.
Stephen, I'm gonna bring him in 5 minutes.
That's fine. I just wanted to go check on they're still
Okay.
okay.
Percolating, you know? No.
It doesn't look like the officer provided the exact speed that they got to in the office report or in the NIMS. He just says high rate.
Velocidad alta. Dígame cuál es
Racing
el
again?
tiene de que están haciendo
Other than the
carreras.
demolition derby?
So the officer observed them, right, driving together. And then I believe
Y luego
he
pienso que
pulled the
él
defendant over,
detuvo a la persona
and then had to call in
y
a
tuvo
Spanish
que
speaking
llamar
unit.
a español.
And then so the defendant stated that he was
Acusado
traveling
dijo que
home
él
from
estaba
work,
yendo
and
a
just
casa,
that the defendant swerved into his lane trying to strike his vehicle, or sorry, not the defendant, the other driver swerved into his lane trying to strike his vehicle. And then the defendant decided to do the same thing.
I get it, and it could be a deadly conduct, but where's the racing? Read it again, read it again. I mean, maybe I missed it, but
No lo escuché.
So, yeah, the officers observed them traveling at a high rate of speed. Again, we don't know what speed. He watched them both line up at a red light and then going side by side at a high rate of speed. And
Different.
that's what the
see
officer,
it like in a competitive manner,
right.
then that's racing.
So that's what the officer observed. And then once he pulled the defendant over, that's where the officer learned that the other driver, according to the defendant, had tried to hit the defendant. And the defendant tried to hit him back.
They're at a red light. They both take off at the same time at a high rate of speed.
Right, and the officer pulls over the defendant's car.
All right, Mr. Ruiz, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. This is the second time that we have an incident like this with you, so I am taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive at all, and you will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising you that you're not gonna drive. If I find that you do, I will have a contempt of court hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. Every time you drive. Do you understand? Do not drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You will be facing a lot of time in jail if you do. Heed my warning, because every time you come back, I'm going to pull your record to see if you're driving or not. You have a lawyer. They will take care of you. I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with them. And they will tell you when you have to come back to court. If they tell me they can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You pick up a new case or start acting a fool in the free world, we will not give you any more PR bonds. Do you understand, Mr. Ruiz? Okay, all right.
Just quickly, this is the second time he's been.
He has a prior evading arrest in a motor vehicle, and now we have a racing case. I don't want him in a car. That's it.
Understand, Judge.
That way. All right, are you Michael Wilson? Good morning, Mr. Wilson. You are wanted out of the state of Georgia for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and theft by deception. Are you waiving formal extradition, sir?
Yes, I'm trying to get back to Georgia.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get you there as quick as possible, okay? All right, buddy. Good luck. All right, thanks. Can you All right, gentlemen, good morning.
Yes.
Both of you guys are charged with criminal offenses. Both of you guys have worked out agreements to take care of your cases today. I want you to understand, both of you guys will now end up with convictions on your record. If you ever come into contact with police again, and you have the smell of alcohol, you have the smell of dope, and they come into contact with you, they're going to look at your record. If you're in a car driving, they're going to see your intoxication case, and things will probably not go well. Both of you need to understand that from now on, each of you are now facing at least 30 days in jail. This is a theft.
That's correct, Your Honor.
You are now charged, you're charged with theft. Didn't want to do anything else. Understand that this theft is going to go on your record. It's an enhanceable offense. If you continue to pick up theft cases, they can charge you with a felony offense. And then you were looking at days instead of years. Do you understand? You are charged with boating while intoxicated. You ever get into a car, get pulled over, smell like alcohol, you will now be facing a minimum of 30 days in jail from now on. Both of you, if you do any kind of substantial time in jail and you're not here with permission in this country, you're going to get an ICE detainer. So don't act like a fool when you're out there so that this doesn't happen. It's not hard. You are giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this. Is this what you guys want to do? You plead voting while intoxicated. I will find you guilty, send you to 3 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you've done. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days. Do not drive. Otherwise, you will be right back in here and it's not going to go well. Do you understand?
Yes.
Charged with theft, you're facing up to 6 months in jail. You've worked out an agreement, 3 days in jail, credit for the 6 that you've done. This is how you understand it. How do you plead to this offense, sir? Guilty or not guilty? Is this from a Walmart?
Home Depot.
Your picture now resides in Home Depot. Anytime you walk into a Home Depot, your picture sits on a wall with everybody else who's been convicted of this offense. So just know, the minute you walk into a Home Depot, if they see you, they're going to call the cops. Do you understand? All right. I will find both of you guys guilty, send it to you the agreement. Good luck to both.
Thank you.
So what does he do for a living? What do you do for a living?
Roofing.
How much money do you make a month? Be honest, because you're talking to me in court.
Around 5,000.
You will be required to pay the fines and fees for the surcharges, sir. So if you don't pay it, you will go to jail. I will give you at least 2 years to pay this, so it'll cost you around 100, 120 bucks a month. But understand, you now will owe quite a bit of money. If you fail to pay it, every $100 you owe, you will sit 1 day in jail. Normal fee. Yeah, with the, at 2 years.
I think, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's another plea, Your Honor, for Romero.
Hey, that doesn't concern you there. I don't know why you're looking at it, man.
Yes, sir.
Is it Jacob Romero?
Jacob Zachary Romero.
Mr. Romero, you're charged with terroristic threat on a public servant.
Yeah.
You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. What did you guys work out?
30 days, huh?
Yes, 30 days or 7 days.
It's 30 days in jail. Credit for the 7 days that you've done. Mr. Romero, understand that this charge will go on your record. You will be facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're giving up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization.
A citizen. Not worried about getting deported. I'm a U.S. citizen.
Okay. Understand, I still have to go through these and I have to tell you your warnings regardless. That you now need to understand that you're, if you continue with the same course of conduct, it's very possible to hit you with a felony charge. So once you get out of here, I'd be very careful. How do you plead to the offense? Or guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty. I will send it to you to the agreement. Good luck to you, Mr. Romero.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think that Jay Kim is in the waiting room.